Guys, we are back with another event space video. If you don't know, this channel is all about event spaces, about startup, ownership, operations, management, right? So all those things, if those things check your list, then you need to subscribe to this channel. All right. Today's question of the day is about churches, about church rentals, and about how churches actually, or how you can charge for churches. So if you're ready for that video, here it is right now. All right, so the question of the day is: a church wants to rent my event space twice a week for 6 months. How do I structure the agreement? Should I offer a discount? And what should I watch out for? I actually get this question all the time. This is one of my first questions that I put on this what am I calling this thing? This series, because I get this question all of the time. People want to know how to rent out to churches and how much to charge, I should say, right? So with this, guys, I'm going to give you guys a couple steps, okay? The first step, guys, is that you need a contract. You need a contract. Don't feel like because it's a church that you don't need a contract. You absolutely need a contract. And it should mimic the contract that you have with your regular customers. So the things that you don't allow in your space normally, you wouldn't allow with the churches either, okay? But it's going to include things like exact times and days, hours of usage, setups and breakdown time expectations, storage terms, if any, and we're going to go over that in a second. Payment schedule, is it monthly, quarterly, or upfront? We're going to go over that in a second too. Late fees, consequences, termination clauses, all of the things that you would put in your regular contract, you're going to put in this contract. Number two, you have to figure out if you're going to charge them monthly, quarterly, bi-monthly, however you decide to do it, you need to decide and they have to agree, right? That's what a contract is. So you're going to decide to charge them, say, for example, if you decided to charge them monthly, right? Either way, you're not going to do it per use because first of all, they have to prepay, okay? They got to prepay. And when you do it this way, you know that you have money coming in every month to help out with whatever expenses that you have, whatever overhead that you have. So that flat fee helps you to be consistent. It helps to allow for a clean transaction. It helps to allow for predictability for your income, for your bottom line. And it also helps to avoid charges per use, like that kind of thing, because it's not a regular occurrence, right? It's not a regular event. This is a reoccurring event every Sunday, every Saturday, whenever they have church. And it also avoids like situations like, oh, we're not going to meet this week, so we don't have to pay. No, that's not in the contract. So you guys have to put those things in a contract, okay? Because you're setting out time for them, right? And this is time that you cannot book because you've allotted this time to them. So they have to honor that. So we went over contracts and we also went over when exactly or how often exactly they're going to pay. Remember, it's not going to be per occurrence. It's going to be monthly or bi-monthly or quarterly, whatever you guys decide, okay? Next, we're going to go over how you come up with this rate. How you come up with the pricing, right? Because this is the next question I get, like, how much do I charge them? Like, how do I charge them, right? So you could charge them a few ways, and we're going to go over a couple ways that you could charge them. So you could look at it like, okay, well, we're going to charge them a percentage of the monthly rent, okay? So say if your lease is $3,000 a month, maybe you could charge them 25% of that. So it could be starting at $750, something like that, right? And that's how you can get to the number, right? Because it's like they're not using that full schedule, but you're still locking them in and you're still giving them a premium price, right? So you can charge based on a percentage of your monthly rent. So that's one way. The next way is based on the time, right? So you can charge like the equivalent of how many hours they plan to use, or the equivalent of how many days they plan to use. So you can actually calculate that for yourself and see if that makes sense. Because it is the assumption that they're just going to take up the mornings, right? What I used to do is I would allow them to take up the morning. I would have a showing and I would have an afternoon Sunday event booked. So that's the way I would do it. I would have all those things. I would do the allow the church to happen, and then I would come back for the showing so new people could see the space and try to book the space. And while they're doing that, prepare for the actual event that will happen on that Sunday. Next, you need to think about setting boundaries and access. Like, will they have a key? Will you let them in? Can they use your mics and stuff like that, right? Are they inviting public guests, or do they have their own like parishioners coming in, their own guests coming in? Will they live stream? What else? All this matters, because when it comes to wear and tear, when it comes to utilities, when it comes to liability, all those things matter. So you need to actually have all of that stuff in the contract as well, but just think about it before you even have that conversation with them. I don't know what number we on, 4 or 5, I don't know. But the next thing is add storage clause, add a storage clause, add a storage clause. They're going to have stuff. They're going to have signage. They're going to have stuff that they use every week. They're going to have, I remember mine had a pulpit, in a podium that they wanted to bring in, or have me store, I should say, every week for them, so that they didn't have to bring it in every week. So work that out as well. That's something that's to consider. They don't think about that. That's your job to think about for them, right? So you have to bring up, okay, well, do you guys have anything to store? And that's your opportunity for an upsell. Hello. Okay. So now you can set your boundaries and say, okay, well, we have, if you plan on storing stuff, there's going to be an additional cost for that, right? So we could add an additional $100, $200, whatever, for that storage fee. Whatever number we on. Next, you have to require liability insurance, okay? Because I don't know if, you require that for your vendors, but this is like a vendor, okay? So because they're a business, it's B2B, right? And so if you guys if they're coming in, God forbid if something were to happen, they need to have business insurance. So it protects anyone that they slip, falls, have a claim. They're not claiming on your insurance. Let them do what they got to do on their insurance, okay? Even though they might try to roll your insurance company into it, at least allow them to have their own insurance, okay? All right, in addition to that, guys, you need to add a 90-day clause, or some time frame clause, like a month clause, just for a trial period, because if something don't work out, you need to be able to break that situation apart and be able to say, okay, well, this is not working out. Okay, y'all doing too much, or whatever the case is, because I've had to do that with the church before. So it happens. It happens. Remember, a church is just a business the same way that any other business, right? So maybe the agreement could be reviewed, and either party can terminate before the 30 days, something like that. But make sure that, you have some sort of trial period in there, because it helps you to really decide on, if you want to move forward with this, because there's a lot of churches out there, and there's a lot of people who want to get started with their church. So they're not the only people that's out there looking. So if it's not working out, then it's okay to terminate the contract, but it should be in the contract that you can terminate. You feel me? All right, guys. So I have something special for you guys. I am actually starting a Skool community on a Skool platform, and it is going to be an awesome community, because it's going to include the event space course as well as all of my other courses. And instead of, charging you guys just for one course, you'll have access to everything for one low monthly rate. So I'm just putting it out there right now, because it's coming soon. If you still want to grab the course, you can. If you want to grab the ebook right now, you can. But I just wanted to put that out there, that is coming soon, because I believe in actually helping people. I believe in actually making things affordable for people and giving them access, because by you pricing things up here, that's limiting their access, right? Anyway, I'm Zia, build a business you love. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe to this channel and like and follow.